Good morning. So happy to be here with you. Share these thoughts that have been bubbling and percolating in my mind. Before we start with that though, I'd like us to take a moment. And I've realized that this year is the 50th anniversary of when I first gave a talk at a retreat. I remember that adolescent, unsure, questioning, wondering why I had been asked to give a talk. But somehow I found some courage. Somehow I found some curiosity going forward. And so I'd like us to take a moment. Please touch your heart. Look inside. Remember that youngster that was inside you. A little anxious, not sure what to do. They're still there. Send them some love. Give them a hug. Express gratitude for their courage, their curiosity that brought you forward, led you to the path. Such a blessing to have come this far when at that age we were so unsure. So, as I share my thoughts with you today, they come from a myriad of Dharma teachers that I've found in my life. There are Dharma teachers that we think of when that name first comes up, wearing robes, writing books, giving lectures. And there are Dharma teachers throughout the world. I have found some deep teachings in the Dharma of quantum physics, astronomy, and also the Dharma teachers with angelic voices. They have soothed us, encouraged us, and helped us through those times in our life when we were unsure. So to start, I'd like to share one of those.
Connected.
Joni Mitchell, recorded from over 50 years ago. Please enjoy. A true bodhisattva.
Disconnected.
We are stardust, billion-year-old carbon. We are golden. So one of the things that brought me to the practice, maybe you too, was just a fascination of what is this? What is this space, this time, this fabric that we exist in? Why is the universe the way it is? Why are we here? What is this existence? Big questions. Today we'll just skim the top. We have this belief that we're defined by our body. Yet we know when we look deeper, there's so much more. Tai teaches us the present moment is indeed a wonderful moment. He teaches us that it's not walking on water that's the miracle, it's the opportunity to walk on this planet Earth. We inter-are with the universe, with every atom of our body. Something that touching the earth yesterday that Monica offered reinforced. Those atoms that have been throughout the universe have come to rest inside of us for a time. So I think of some of these questions as celestial koans. Why is there something rather than nothing? What happened at the Big Bang, the beginning of time and physical laws, some 14 billion years ago, near as we know? Amazingly enough, the universe appears designed. It emerged from a violent birth, spectacularly configured to support the life that we enjoy right here, right now, if some billions of years later. It's almost as if the genesis of life and the genesis of the cosmos are intermingled with each other, and that the cosmos knew all along that one day we would arise, we would breathe, and this would be our home. So what are we to make of this mysterious appearance of intent? Is the apparent design of the universe a lucky accident? Serendipitous consequence of objective and personal laws of nature? Intuitively, it feels like more. How did the inherent disorder after the Big Bang lead to the formation of Earth? Well, it took a long time. Nearly 10 billion years after the Big Bang, and about 4 billion years ago, conditions became sufficient for the formation of our solar system and dear Mother Earth. But during those 10 billion years, the atoms of the early universe were swirling together, forming stars, quasars, and it was important work that was going on because the early atoms were very simple, hydrogen, maybe helium. But in the quasars and the stars, they were churning out the more complex atoms, the carbon, the oxygen, the nitrogen, the calcium that we would need. And it was then burst back out into the universe and swirled back together. Eventually, our solar system, our sun, our planets condensed, swirled, formed. And we find ourselves here on this miraculous condensation of universal atoms. So we're here, but a big question can be, why is there life versus no life? For a billion years, there was just this lifeless planet circling the sun. It was churning. It was being bathed by the sun. It was getting hit by meteors. But the seed, the combination of those complex atoms had been planted in the planet. And indeed, it was being bathed by the relatively gentle warmth of the sun, providing energy for what was necessary. Over eons, atoms encountered each other. Reactions took place, which would have never happened without the energy of the sun. Out of this primordial ooze, bathed in the warmth of the sun, all the complex atoms necessary for life swirling, reacting, coming together, coming apart. Eventually, life emerged from non-living matter through a gradual process of chemical reactions. This eventually led to the formation of self-replicating molecules, the very earliest twinkling of life. The early Earth provided a conducive environment for these reactions to occur. And remember, about 4 billion years ago, the Earth's atmosphere was very different. Yet it contained those simple molecules that we would need, those atoms. It had water vapor, methane, ammonia, a nitrogen source, carbon dioxide, there's the carbon. And we were getting the energy sources, not only from the sun, but from lightning, volcanic activity. All the chemical reactions, energy, led to life through a complex series of chemical reactions. Organic compounds, amino acids, nucleotides, lipids were synthesized. These early building blocks of life were able to self-assemble and form more complex structures, such as very early protocells in prebiotic systems. Yet these early cells had the ability to store information, replicate, and undergo basic metabolic processes. Some basic form of molecular replication then initiated, and about 3.5 billion years ago, life started in our oceans and was off to the races. With the guiding hand of evolution, taking life into more and more complex forms. Life would start down a path and evolution would say, no, not that one. Down here, no, not that one. But that initiation of life is our ancestor. Each of us represents an unbroken transformation, transference of the life energy that started then. If it had been broken, we wouldn't be here. Yet all the life consists of bags of particles that had been spewed out of a quasar. It would take another 3 billion years, for life to go from the oceans to land. That's a long time to go swimming. But it's a very significant milestone for life, for our planet, and marked a crucial step in our evolutionary history. Eventually, our friends the dinosaurs appeared. They roamed the earth for 164 million years. They roamed the earth for 164 million years. Until about 65 million years ago, when the earth was struck by a giant meteor which wiped out the dinosaurs and most of the life on the planet, but life survived. Why did the dinosaurs get wiped out? Might be hard for us to be here if they were still around. I don't know. Over an extended period, through the process of evolution and natural selection, the early life forms became more complex and eventually led to the diverse array of organisms we see today. Outside the windows, we walk through the woods, we look in the rivers, the streams. Humans finally made an appearance about 300,000 years ago. Pretty much newcomers. But with humans came consciousness. Again, a celestial koan, why did consciousness develop instead of no consciousness? The dinosaurs lived for 164 million years. As far as we know, they didn't have consciousness. Yet after 300,000 years, our consciousness has been here. Was consciousness predetermined? Was it not? Does all matter contain a conscious element? There are some that say the atoms themselves have an energy of consciousness and it needed to come together in a complex form for consciousness to arise. I don't know. Perhaps it was just lucky. A basic constituent of the particles of which we are made. The author, Albert Camus, won the Nobel Prize in Literature. He says that everything begins with consciousness, and nothing is worth anything except through it. Everything begins with consciousness, and nothing is worth anything except through it. But so far, we've yet to articulate a robust scientific explanation of the conscious experience. We can talk about how neurons fire and how the synapses react, but consciousness? But let's retain our perspective. If life on Earth, from the very first life forms up to today, was based on a 24-hour period a day, humans have been here for the past 7.4 seconds. Again, if all life on Earth was based on a 24-hour day, all our ancestors, our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, all the way back to the very first humans, we've been here for 7.4 seconds. Newcomers. But with us, consciousness arose. As we breathe in and breathe out, look a little deeper. Trace this unbroken change of miraculous life that we each represent. Breathing in, I am aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware I'm breathing out. We are each a swarm of interacting particles. We are physical beings made of large collections of particles governed by nature's laws. Everything we do and everything we think amounts to motions of those particles. Consciousness swirled around the planet, stumbling and bumbling. But what comes with consciousness and self-awareness? Suffering. Deep suffering. War. Anguish. The double-edged sword of the light of consciousness and the suffering that comes with consciousness. Then about 2,500 years ago, Siddhartha walked out into the world and saw the suffering. Was overwhelmed by it. Didn't know what to do with it. Eventually, he experienced an awakening. And he brought the teachings of mindfulness into the world. A path out of suffering. a path of awakening to be able to fully appreciate and experience our moments of consciousness. Was it preordained that mindfulness would come into the world from consciousness? I don't know. But the particles came together from the quasars and allowed it to arise. Why did mindfulness develop? Well, suffering, of course, opened the door. Yet, so many had suffered before Siddhartha, before the Buddha, without this breakthrough in human consciousness. Indeed, he opened the door to the miracle of mindfulness. And about 100 years ago, a simple Vietnamese monk showed us how to turn a meditation practice into a way of life. Whether we're sitting, walking, eating, driving our car, stuck in traffic, getting yelled at by our boss in a meeting, every moment we have an opportunity to show up for it, to embrace it, to cherish each special moment. Reflecting that what a gift from the universe it is. And we're only given a limited number of these moments. Don't waste them. With the practice, we have the opportunity to show up for each and every one. For they will come and they will go, whether we notice them or not. We engage this practice with the understanding that there will be moments of happiness and joy, as well as pain and suffering. Each is a gift. We are stardust. We are golden. Billion-year-old carbon. Present moment. Wonderful moment. My friends, the universe has been conspiring to bring us these moments for a very, very long time. This precious moment, none other than just this moment, is an extreme, ridiculous, outrageous gift. How dare we not appreciate it? Embrace it. Cherish it. We are stardust. We are golden. Billion-year-old carbon. We have arrived. We are home. In the ultimate we dwell. I think we'll stop here for today.